Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing something a little bit different. We're doing a story time today. But before we do that, I promised you guys in yesterday's video if we had enough keys by the time I went to record Infinite Warfare again that we'd open a rare supply drop. So here it is. I have 31 keys. Please be something good. Okay, we got a standard reticle, salvage, and okay, that, I would have been better off buying 3 commons. Still on that road to prestige over here in Infinite Warfare, but anyway, I wanted to try a new series, this, like, story time idea, because you guys know me when I'm making Let's Plays, or, well, not even Let's Plays, just, like, normal COD videos and stuff, I tend to just drift off and tell a bunch of stories anyway, so I figured, why not start a series where I just kind of go back in my past and just kind of talk about some stories while we play. Now, this is a story that I've told on my channel before, but it was an older video, wasn't done as well. This time, I feel I'm a bit more prepared with my commentary skills to actually tell the story and, you know, cover all the details properly. I remember this day like it was just yesterday, February 2nd, 2020. At least I believe it was February 2nd. It was, what was it? Super Bowl Sunday. And I don't remember who was playing that day, but that's not what matters. I just bring that up because I was pretty mad. It was Super Bowl Sunday, and that night I was gonna be going to my aunt's house to eat some great freaking chicken wings or something, whatever. They'd always whip up some crazy stuff there, but unfortunately, you know, I didn't get to go because, well, my ankle was busted. So this morning started out like any other. I had this routine breakfast that I used to eat, so I woke up, I ate my breakfast. It was 2 pieces of toast. 1 piece of toast would have peanut butter, 1 would have honey. I'd eat a banana with it, and a bowl of maple brown sugar Quaker's oatmeal. That stuff was delicious. And then I was just kind of chilling in my room playing some Modern Warfare because that was the COD at the time, and I was just sitting there playing and chilling. Then my freaking phone goes off or whatever, and it's my buddy. I'm not going to say his real name, so we'll just call him Josh. Josh was texting me, and he was like, hey man, you want to go out and skateboard, whatever, hang out? And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. So we went out, we skateboarded, we did our thing, and we were pretty curious kids, I'd say. Whenever we were out skateboarding, you know, we like to explore. We go out and just kind of go to some pretty random spots, and the random spot that we picked today was to go explore a cemetery for a bit, which is, yeah, it's as bizarre as it sounds. I shouldn't say bizarre, but rather edgy, because, you know, that was when I was still in my edgy emo phase, so that was the type of stuff I'd do. I'd go break into abandoned diners, or go sit in cemeteries and contemplate my life for a while, and that's what we were doing, you know, on that day, just kind of contemplating our life, going to interact with the ghosts and stuff like that. And while me and my buddy Josh were just kind of hanging out in the cemetery, we started getting a little spooked out. There was like kind of some like weird energy flowing through there. I have no idea what it was, man. I'm not 100% believer in ghosts, but I'm also not in denial that they could be real, so I'm not even gonna, you know, question it. So I was like, screw this, let's get out of here, and yeah, we were both on the same page by that point. So we got out of there, we went and took some edgy emo pics outside of the cemetery just for our Instagrams, stuff like that. And then after taking some edgy emo photos, I was like, man, I'm hungry, I want a freaking burrito. So then, you know, Josh was like, alright, yeah, whatever, let's go grab some food then. And as we were heading back to his place, you know, we were skating along down the road, and all of a sudden, I have no idea what happened. I don't know if there was a rock on the road that my skateboard got stuck on, if the ghost from the cemetery was still following us, because I'm telling you, I had some weird energy leaving that place. And all of a sudden, next thing I know, my skateboard's going one way, I'm going the other way, and when I fell, I had my foot obviously still kind of like in skater position, but it was weird because when I fell, I was in the middle of like kind of switching my posture, you know what I mean, going from pushing to riding, so it was just in a really bad position. So when I fell, all of my weight landed on my foot that was obviously not pointing the right way, so that weight, I guess it was enough to just snap and dislocate my ankle, and next thing you know, I'm sitting there with just on the ground in shock, and I couldn't even feel the pain at this point just because of all the adrenaline going on. So I'm laying there on the ground just like looking around in shock at what just happened, and I was about to get up, be like, okay, time to go get my skateboard, I guess, but then I look at my foot. My right foot is okay, facing perfectly just vertical up, and then I looked at my left foot, and it was essentially backwards. To put it in perspective, I'm not going to show any I do have pictures of them, but I'm not going to put it on the screen just because it was very disgusting. You can see like the bone coming out. It was disgusting. But anyway, my heel was basically where my toes should have been. It was so freaking gross, dude. And luckily, at that time that I fell, somebody was driving by, and that person happened to be a nurse or whatever, so she got out, she looked at my foot, and she was like, yeah, that's not okay. So we called 911, you know, they got there, got me in the split and everything like that, got me in the back of the ambulance or whatever. And they were just juicing me up on a bunch of meds. So I was sitting in the back of this ambulance, all confused, with my foot facing backwards, high off of these meds, just completely confused and just like in shock and just still comprehending what happened essentially. And mind you, at this point I was still freaking starving. I never got any freaking food. So I was sitting back in this ambulance, and I'm sure that that attributed to the meds hitting me as hard as they did, because I was like, there was nothing in my system at all besides water at that point. So yeah, we'll cut forward a little bit to later that evening because nothing really interesting happened besides me sitting there all goofy off the meds they had me on, and it was time to, put my ankle back in place. And this doctor that was doing it, he was stupid and he didn't put the needle close enough or in the right position of where it needed to be to actually numb it when they went to reposition my ankle. And I felt all of it, and it was the worst thing that I've ever felt. I can't even put into words the amount of pain I was in, dude. That hurt so freaking bad. I was screaming, dude. I sounded like a rabid chimpanzee. I was just going ballistic. And then I was in there, not lying. I was crying a little bit because it hurt for pretty freaking bad, dude. And then they, I chilled for a bit. They let me recover from that. And then the doctors came in, showed me how to use my crutches and stuff like that. And then I went out. And you want to know the saddest part of the story? To this day, I never got the burrito that I wanted. To this day. However, my mom made up for it, and she got me a biggie bag on the way home from the hospital. So, I mean, it was completely worth it. That was like the Wendy's thing they had where it came with, like, chicken nuggets and a cheeseburger and some fries and then like a large Coke, and then my buddies came over and hung out with me for a bit just to help me feel better about everything, and it was just something else, man. That's a time of my life I just never want to go back to. I was off my feet for like a total of almost, what was it? It was like 4 or 5 months. I had like multiple surgeries I had to get through, and life was just bad, and then my depression kicked in really bad, and honestly, my anorexia stuff started around the time of me breaking my ankle, but I do have to say, like, me breaking my ankle when I fell into that depression and everything, that's when it really started spiraling out of control. That's when I lost the most amount of weight and when I started restricting the most. And obviously, if you know me and if you've been around on the channel for a bit lately, that's led me up to today where I'm finally, after years of struggling with it, I'm finally like in recovery for anorexia and stuff like that. And to anybody that's been wondering, I know I haven't really been updating you guys. I'm doing actually pretty good with it. Still gaining weight, still doing my stuff, but all that matters is that I'm staying consistent. I know it's going to take a while, but at least I'm getting healthy again. Yeah, I don't know, that's that. I mean, I thought there was more to that story, but I guess if I wanted to go more in depth and talk about other things, I'd have to talk about, like, things that happened after the initial breaking of the ankle, but that's all I wanted the story time to be, was just kind of like my day of just breaking my ankle, just like a random story, I guess, just to see how this video does. And if you guys want to see more stories, or if you want to hear more stories that branch off of this, because there actually is a lot of interesting stories that came out of this, I can tell you guys those. It may not seem like there would be, but trust me, you have no idea. Anyways, that's that. As always, a shout out to the Patrons, Karma's Fave Grandma, and Little Booty Tap. I'll see you guys back here tomorrow at 7. Thank you for watching. I love all of you. Peace.